Good morning, guys. It's Monday. We've just finished our 4th week in camp with guests. So we had Pete and Sean from Cornwall, we had Frank from Surrey, and we had Steve from South Wales this week. And at the start of the week, I asked them all to write down a few targets, and we basically tried to tick off as many as we could. I think most of the guys ticked off most of the fish that they wanted, but obviously the majority of them wanted a nice halibut, which this week we managed to do. Frank had a fish of £16.13 and lost one much bigger. Pete had 3 halibut, I think, a 15, a 19 and a 33. Sean, I believe, had 7 fish, a couple of small ones, a 15, a 17 and a 33. And Steve had 3 halibut, which were around £14, £25 and 33 again. So we've had 4 fish over 25, 3 over 30, and I think we had 14 halibut in total. So yeah, a pretty good week on the halibut. But really that is because of the weather we've had. We've had some really nice weather, which has allowed us to access most of the decent marks where we've been catching halibut for the first part of the season. But what I'll do is I'll go through a bit of a day-by-day roundup now. So day 1, we hit up a mark south of the camp called Capensbrewer. It's a deep water mark, around 40 metres deep. I said to the guys that they were likely to get a mixture of species there, and a mixture they did. I think they managed 9 species that first day, which included coalfish up to about £11, pollock to £4. We had dabs, we had whiting, we had haddock, we had redfish, ling, lum, amongst a couple of others which I can't remember right now, but a really good first day to start things off. Day 2, from memory, I think we did Ray's Rock up the north of the camp. It's about an hour's drive. It's a fairly slow day, but we knew it was going to be pretty slow because we were targeting halibut again. But we had place there to £3 5 ounces, as well as a couple more place, all over £2. We had a few dabs, we had a couple of codling, a couple of coalies, and the guys managed 2 halibut, I think, with 1 lost. The best one fell to Steve, which was £33 8 ounces. So that was a nice fish, and Steve was pretty chuffed with that. Day 3, let me think back. Day 3, we went to... Day 3, we did Mortsund, which is close to the camp mark. It's only about 20 minutes away. Again, the target was flatfish, hopefully a few cod as well. The guys did get a load of cod, a load of coalfish, although mostly small. But we had plenty of place again. I think we had 4 place that day, all over £2 again. Lots of dabs, up to about £1.50, and the guys did manage 3 halibut as well as losing 4 or 5 as well. So there was a bit of action on the halibut, which was good to see. Day 4, we did the lay-by, the easiest mark in Lofoten. And yeah, it's basically fished pretty much every time we've been there so far this year. And it didn't fail this time either. Although it was very quiet for the majority of the day, we did have a little spell of fish around the high water. Sean had 2 fish, one of 17 and one of £33 6 ounces. And Frank had one of £16.13 and hooked and lost a real good one, which bust him up, which we've now called Hally Busted, thanks to Steve. That's a new term that we've got now. If you get done by a halibut, you've been Hally Busted. But yeah, fairly slow really compared to what it has been on the lay-by, but still we managed to catch some halibut, which was a target species, and some good ones there as well. 5th day, we went a long way north to a spot called Fiskable. And yeah, it's one of those marks where you've always got a chance of some good halibut, you've always got a chance of cod there. It's around 25 metres deep, so you get a good mix of both. We didn't get any place on the day, but we had cod to just under £10. Steve had halibut of around £14 and £25 10 on a mark that we call the slab. And then on a mark further over, Pete and Sean managed 3 halibut, I think. Pete managed all of them, and they were £15, £19 and £33 5 ounces. 1 ounce is smaller than Sean's one, so Sean went home with the bragging rights to Cornwall, just by an ounce. But yeah, both guys were happy because they had their £30 halibut. And yeah, it was a good day really. We had a lot of coalfish as well that day, and a ling for Steve. So yeah, good mixed bag with some halibut thrown in. And then yesterday was the final day of the trip. The two Cornish boys wanted to do an all-out halibut raid on a mark where I caught an 80-pounder in March 2019. It's a long cut-off, so I dropped them off at 8 o'clock in the morning, left them there and picked them up at 6 o'clock. It's fairly slow for them. I think they had 3 or 4 cod, only small ones, and they had 1 halibut just after dark of about 4 or 5 pounds. So slow day for them, but it's always going to be a big fish or bust mark, that one. And I took Steve and Frank down to the bridge again, where we had some good fishing on day one. And again, we had a lot of coalfish. The best fish was one that I managed of 11.10 coalfish. But the guys kept busy pretty much all day with coalfish or cod or haddock, a few dabs. I think Frank had another redfish as well. So yeah, an enjoyable last day full of fish. And yeah, that brings us to this morning. I've just dropped the guides off. They've headed home. They're all very happy with the trip. I'm sure you'll see some reviews come up as well as some photos fairly soon. But yeah, thanks for watching the roundup, and I'll do another one at the end of week 5, which is probably going to be my last week here due to the new lockdown rules coming in on Thursday. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the roundup, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching.